Good evening, darts fans, and welcome to the Online Darts Live League for Thursday night. And, of course, we will go through to Friday morning as we pass the midnight hour. But tonight, we have a very big treat for you. It is Champions Week, of course, but tonight's group, I assure you, is probably the best group we have ever assembled. Not on purpose, because some of these players have fallen into this group from Group A earlier in the week. We had 3 days of action on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and Ryan Furness, one of the surprise packages of 2021, has found his way to the finals on Saturday night. But I, Paul the Ascent Nicholson, will guide you through what happened in Group A as we look at the table as it stood at the end of play on Wednesday. As you can see, Ryan Furness at the top there after 15 games, picked up 22 points with 11 wins and 4 defeats. A very strong performance to win that group by 4 points. Over the likes of former world champion Richie Burnett, former world master and two-time PDC major champion Robert Thornton, and, of course, Connor Scutt, who you will see tonight alongside Thornton and Burnett. They are going to be very, very strong in this group, and they will have 2 Welshmen joining them. But Scott Williams and Martin Adams, they did play a little bit earlier on today in Group C, which was a very tight group indeed. It couldn't have been much tighter, but it was Sean Griffiths who had the better of the day. He was the only person to pick up 4 victories out of his 5 matches. This group will conclude tomorrow starting at 9:30 a.m. But Mike Warburton, as you can see, is there in the second position. He's only 2 points behind, but all of the other players are still in with a shout of getting to the top 2 positions, which will get them through to the finals. That will be a very competitive group tomorrow. But as far as tonight is concerned, I really do think that everybody has license to be excited. The incredible amount of achievements that these players have had and are doing right now should be in evidence with the play that we will see this evening. Let's get a little look at what we're going to get. Scutt will start us off against Jim Williams. Robert Thornton will go up against his close pal Mark Webster after that. But there are some fixtures there that really whet your appetite. You look at Jim Williams against Webster at around about 10 to 12. And, of course, you look at the likes of Webster against Burnett. They've played World Cup together in the PDC. And I just get the feeling that that one could be a little bit spicy. So, before we get started, let's have a little look to see what's coming up in our very first match of the night. Without further ado, then let's get going with the first game of the evening. And we're going to start with a 36-year-old from Prestine. A very proud and world-class Welsh dart player that Jim Williams is. He's had success here before, but Connor Scutt, a 2021 find and a half. It'll be really interesting to see what kind of resistance he can bring to a group that is littered with major winners. We'll talk about that in real detail in a second.
First leg, it's Connor to throw. Game on.
As our referee Andy Walsh gets us underway, it is Connor who throws first in this best of 7 match. And that will be the format for all 10 matches this evening.
41.
Just to give you an indication as to how you make the finals on Saturday night. They will be live on Sporty Stuff TV, as this is right now. So welcome to everybody tuning in.
140.
So in this 5-player group, if you can, over the next couple of nights, play your 8 matches and reach the top 3,
93.
you will be in the Champions Week finals. And when you get there, you have the opportunity to win £6,000. A lot of cash for amateur darts. Just for getting there,
60.
you will get a bonus, but you want the big prize. And there is someone, in fact, there are 2 players in this group tonight that know plenty about the big prize at the end of the rainbow.
40.
Because we have 2 phase winners in this group alone. This man is one of them. He won phase 3 by beating Fallon Sherrick in the final. And in phase 2,
43.
it was won by Richie Burnett, who you will see in match 3 when he takes on Connor Scutt in his first battle. But as far as this group is concerned,
99.
Connor Scutt really is up against it from an experience point of view. He's the youngest player He's the least experienced, and he has the smallest reputation, but do not, under any circumstances, count him out. He has recently guaranteed his first appearance in an England shirt. That will come up pretty soon.
140. Jimmy require 100.
We'd have to say that Jim Williams is a favourite in this game. Single 18 for tops. We'll give him the first leg. Doesn't like the angle. I think the flight's in the way.
Game shot.
Turns out that nothing was in the way, but you see the flexibility of the player right there. If he doesn't like the angle, he can go left and right on the oche to find what is prime.
Second leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
One thing about Jim is that he is not the quickest, but he is immensely precise. Let's just run down the achievements of the players in this group then, because they are eye-watering. Jim Williams, former world #1 in the BDO system.
60.
World Trophy champion. Won a ridiculous amount of BDO tournaments and WDF events. Then you talk about Richie Burnett, former BDO world #1.
98.
Former world champion, former most things. Robert Thornton, former BDO world #1. Winner of the UK Open and World Grand Prix, as well as the World Masters. And then there's Mark Webster, former BDO world #1. Are you starting to catch my drift here? Former world champion in the BDO system back in 2008.
98.
Then there's Connor Scutt, who hasn't won anything of massive note yet.
140.
But his reputation is growing exponentially. And this is a huge test for him this evening. I'm looking forward to seeing
145.
what he can do against this opposition.
Connor, you require 161.
Can he find this? He still can. He cannot any longer.
123.
But it's huge pressure on this 2-dart out of Jim Williams.
Require 100.
Nicknamed the Quiff. I wonder why. Just look at his hair. Went for the 60 option there because tops
60.
was very difficult with the flight in the way. I wouldn't have been surprised if he'd have gone for 5/16s in the southwest corner.
Game
Connor Scutt finds a really precise double 19 there. That was not an easy shot, considering his first dart has blocked the 38 bed. So he goes for the left, and he finds it.
Third leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
I have to pay a huge amount of respect to Ryan Furness
93.
for winning Group A this week. Largely unknown in darting circles until the last few weeks. Now everybody knows his name. And he will be in the finals on Saturday night.
60.
Which will be live on Sporty Stuff TV from 10 p.m. Put a reminder in your smart device. You do not want to miss the finals this week.
180.
And you do not want to miss the rest of tonight, because I think something is going to happen. If not tonight, it'll happen tomorrow or Saturday night. With this amount of talent, it's impossible not to get something.
140.
Whether it's a 9-darter, whether it's some big finishes, or some classic matches.
58.
Scutt has left the maximum finish. And he has had a 170 before, but he's got company in the finishing zone with that maximum from Jim Williams. Quite incredible that Williams was 131 behind.
44.
And with the click of his fingers,
Jimmy require 121.
he is now in front with the darts. This is brilliant stuff from Jim Williams so far. He's got double 14 for a break of throw.
Game
That's an
shot
extraordinary
at the third
finish.
leg. Jim
And
Williams.
what a conversion that is in 6 darts. When you talk about world-class players, you expect stuff to happen. But that is proof right there
Fourth
that Jim
leg,
Williams
Jim to
is a
throw first.
world-class player
Game on.
right now. I hope you're going to enjoy Jim Williams' company over the next few days.
140.
I'm sure he will return for another crack before the end of the year. But one thing we do know about Jim is that we're not going to see him in these circles for the next 2 years at least. Because
97.
he won the Challenge Tour Order of Merit in the PDC system and has assured himself of a lot of darts over the next couple of years. He's going to be at the top level for the very first time.
59.
He has played some top-level stuff within the PDC system as an alternate. But now he has a tour card privilege. And on top of that, he will
100.
make an appearance at the Grand Slam of Darts in 3 weeks. And he will make his debut at the PDC World Championship come Christmas time. These are all things that Connor Scutt wants in his future. And if he improves the way he has over the last couple of years, it's inevitable.
100.
Now, Connor's done one thing that he did not do the last time he played Jim, and that's get a leg.
140.
When they played each other on the 25th of September, Jim won 4 legs to 0 with an average of over 103.
180.
And this time it's Connor who finds the
Jimmy
maximum on
require
approach.
121.
But if Jim finds another 1-2-1, Connor will have his jaw on the floor. It's the same shot. The same double at the double. Oh, my
Game
word.
shot in the fourth leg.
Jim Williams, what did you have for dinner? He's done it again. 2 121 finishes in a row, and both times he gets the treble 11 for
Fifth
the double
leg, it's Connor
14.
to throw first.
Incredible darts.
$131.
That is enough to shake anybody out of their darting boots. He genuinely is a phenomenal dart player. And yes, tonight is
100.
dominated by world-class players who have done things in the past, but you still have to do it right now. And tonight, very much like 2021, is
85.
dominated by Wales. Burnett, Webster and Jim Williams all have worn the red and green of Wales.
140.
And we are playing on a Welsh branded dartboard because today is the first day that the Winmore Blade 6 triple core carbon
100.
dartboard has been used in competition. It was launched yesterday, and today is its TV debut.
59.
What has Scutt got left in this brilliant contest?
150.
That treble 11 is getting butchered. Great counting from Connor, good tactics. And he has a guaranteed shot at double 16 to keep this brilliant game going.
94.
Both
Connor
averaging
require
over 100
32.
quite easily.
Game shot in the fifth
And there
leg.
is a
Connor
13
Scutt.
darter from Connor Scutt. And our referee, Andy Walsh, has got an easy job this evening so far because he's seeing nothing but world-class stuff.
6 leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
If you aren't enjoying this, you aren't a darts fan. It's quite simple. Connor Scutt averaging 103. Williams 102. And when they last played,
59.
Williams averaged 103 and Scutt 100. So there is something about these two playing each other that brings out their best.
95.
Just looking at the overall stats for the year, all of the darts they've played in this room. Williams has played 38 matches
100.
with 23 wins. He has the best win percentage of any player in this group, a shade over 60.5%. He's got a good running average of 89.52.
99.
And he has the best running doubles percentage of over 37%. But expect more than 87 averages and 88 averages tonight.
70.
These guys have been playing a lot of darts lately. They will be sharp. As for Connor Scutt, a win percentage of 55.17 after 32 wins in 58 games.
140.
But this week, I'm not sure Connor will be pleased with his Group A effort in getting 4th position from 6 players.
60.
So in order to make the finals again, because he has done before, he's going to have to make the top 3 out of the hardest group we've ever seen.
50.
He did have a very good running average for Group A though, 92.49, and still didn't qualify.
60.
But this one should be going the distance.
Connor, you
Just when you think Jim Williams has got this game by the scruff of the neck at 3-1 up, he's taking his foot off the gas.
52.
Now you start to think,
Jimmy require 100.
could he finish with another big checkout? It's possible. Just misses on the left-hand side. You can see from that purse of the lips that for a microsecond he thought that might sneak in the bottom left corner. He's got 77 left. And Connor, sitting on 65, is thinking, that's okay. I'm going to take this to a 7th leg.
94. Connor, you require 65.
If he can do this, he has the darts in the last leg. Tops.
25.
Chance for Williams to kill this off with a 7-visit last leg. This has been the edgiest leg of the contest. But Williams will not care if he takes it. What a marker.
18.
Oh, he will not believe that that didn't go in. I am flabbergasted that it didn't.
40.
Double 10 for Scutt. Back to the top. And he doesn't find double 5. He has had the opportunity to take it all the way.
Jimmy require 40.
But has faltered. Possibly at the final hurdle.
Game
Williams
shot and
does
the match.
take the
Jim
win.
Williams.
He will not like that last leg. But for one reason and one reason only, he will love it. Because it's given him 2 valuable points in this group. The averages have plummeted a little bit, but surely the highlight of that game, the 2-1-2-1 finishes for Jim Williams via 2 shots on the treble 11 and double 14. I don't think I'll forget that very much at all for the rest of the night. We've got Robert Thornton against Mark Webster coming up. What more could you possibly want when we come back after the break? Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Online Darts Live League. I am Paul the Asset Nicholson. It is my privilege to bring you this next match, the second match of the night. First match was very, very good indeed, and this next one with Webster and Thornton should deliver as well. Two of my good pals from the PDC days, of which there could be more in the future.
First leg, it's Robert to throw. Game on.
But these two, thick as thieves over the last 10 to 13 years.
40.
But I'll be really interested to see what happens in this one, because they have played each other a few times recently.
60.
You may indeed have seen it via the evening sessions on Sporty Stuff TV.
100.
A couple of weeks ago, they played each other in 3 consecutive nights. And it was Webster who won 2 of their 3 meetings with some very good displays.
99.
And one of those meetings was indeed in the Week 3 finals night. It was the actual grand final,
91.
where Webster won by 4 legs to 1. So Webster, the winner of Week 3 in qualifying.
100.
And second place Thornton. They find themselves in the same group once again. And both have ambitions of making
85.
the finals in cashing a possible big check come Saturday night. But this is Mark's first attempt
100.
in getting to the Champions Week finals. It's Robert's second, because he played in Group A alongside Connor Scutt and Richie Burnett, who you will see tonight. And Robert finished third in that group.
110.
Tidy stuff from Webster to
Robert,
leave
you require
32.
119.
Thornton needs 60 in tops.
59.
He fails on that effort,
Mark
and
requires
Webster could break
32.
in 6 visits here.
Game shot in the
And
first
does
leg.
so with
Mark
ease.
Webster.
That is around a 94 average for that first leg. And when you look at his stats when he's played here, some of them are incredible in their nature.
Second leg, going to be Mark to throw first. Game on.
And I say that because over the last few seasons, Webster's place among the elite in darts has come under question.
140.
People have asked him, does he want it anymore? Does he just want to be an analyst and a commentator? Because he really does like the media side of
137.
working within the game. But I think he has proved over the last couple of months that he's still got game.
96.
Now, considering everybody in this group, who do you think has got the best running average of every game they've played here this year? You might think Burnett, you might think Thornton, you might think Jim Williams, but no, it's Webster.
98.
Running average of 90.26. Personal best average of 107.48. Oh yeah, he's still got it all right.
91. Mark, you require 167.
Now what is Robert going to do with the 133?
94.
He's a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to finishing, so
You require 133.
he's going to go south. That is the right way to go, in my opinion.
108. Mark, you require 73.
Does Webster double his lead? Let's find out on double top.
Game shot in
Oh,
the
it's right in
second
the
leg.
corner.
Mark Webster.
And Robert Thornton will look at the board as if to say, how did you sneak that in there? That one was the
Third leg,
perfect
Robert to
penalty.
throw first.
Nobody was saving that one off the inside of the post.
100.
I mentioned that Webster still got game. Don't doubt that Thornton hasn't got it as well. He is typically tenacious. The last few
60.
years for Robert have not been easy.
$140.
His wife Christine has not been well recently, and we send her every single best wish we can. And Robert
97.
is the player he is because of his right-hand woman. Christine is a tower of strength for Robert.
180.
And that is a towering 180 from him. A much better scoring leg from the Scott.
66. Robert, you require 81.
He's going to go straight down for the treble 19 and double 12.
Game
And that
shot in the
is
third leg.
about
Robert
as
Thornton.
easy a 12 darter as you will find anywhere in the world right now. Because how many 12 darters has he hit in his career? Well, there's one more.
Fourth leg, it's Mark throwing first.
These two made the jump to the PDC around the same time. Thornton came first back in
100.
2008. Webster followed the following season. This after Webster won the World Championship against Simon Whitlock in the final.
83.
And of course, Thornton did so after winning the World Masters. I'll never forget when Thornton reached the world number 1 ranking in the BDO. He won the Dutch Open, one of the hardest tournaments to win on the planet.
140.
He won a trophy so big that he couldn't take it back to Scotland. He asked John Boy Walton to take it back in his car. But as soon as he won that tournament,
58.
he decided to jump to the PDC. And his first competitive match in a UK Open was against Anastasia Dobromislova.
38.
That was at the old Reebok Stadium in Bolton.
$140.
And these two have spent a fair bit of time together travelling the world. And I was one of the players that joined them. All three of us, me, Robert and
58.
Mark, have been to Canada
Mark, you
together.
require 128.
We've been to America together, Australia. Good times. And successful times too.
54. 80.
Oh, that really did clatter against his own dart.
Mark, you require 74.
All the momentum taken away by the barrel. And it's now double 10 for Webster. And he
Game
finds
shot in the
that
fourth
74
leg. Mark
checkout
Webster.
without any faltering whatsoever to take a 3-1 lead. It seems to me like he's very comfortable playing against Robert right now, looking for his third consecutive
Fifth leg,
win
it's Robert.
against the Scott.
Go first. 58.
Averages in this match are fairly tidy. And in fact, Robert Thornton's got an average 5 better than Mark.
56.
Webster down just under 91. But he has not missed a double yet.
59.
3 from 3. Could he possibly do what Niall Cullerton did a little bit earlier on in a match that was
100.
bemusing but in a good way? Cullerton hit 4 doubles from 4 and his opponent, Mike Gillett, hit 2 from 2.
42.
6 shots at a double and everything was hit.
$42.
Bit of a stumble here from Webster, but he knows that on 303 he's going to have to go for the 19s first at the start of the next
81.
visit. Probably back upstairs now.
84.
Thornton's going to have to dig deep here. And that was the right play down to the 17s. The treble would have left him 130. But he is on a finish to reduce the gap to 1.
40.
He's got 6 darts for it now.
164.
So this game is very much alive. Superb approach.
132.
As long as he takes the double 16, this match will continue.
99.
But he is under a tiny bit of pressure all of a sudden. He does find the 32 bed though, and it is now 3-2. Webster has got the lead, but for how long? It's up to Thornton to keep this one going in leg 6.
6 leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
But Thornton needs to break, and he needs Webster to miss that treble 20.
123.
He only misses it once. Again, the gap on the averages is 5. And Webster is defying
100.
The better stats from his opponent. Just looking at what Robert's done this year, he's played a lot of darts here. In fact, he's played a lot of darts
121.
throughout the course of the entire season in other places too. He's been an alternate at PDC events in the last week.
85.
He's played 129 matches here with 78 wins. And his win percentage is just a shade over 60%. A running average of 88.5.
99.
His doubles percentage is just over 33. And that tells me that he is just below par.
125. Mark, you require 158.
But it's Mark's turn to have 6 darts for the finish.
46.
That is a slip, and it offers Thornton a chance maybe. It's still in Mark's hands.
89.
But he needs to find a
Mark,
ton plus checkout for the first time in the match to bank the 2 points. It's not going to happen.
88.
So over to you, Robert.
Robert, you require 100.
Can you get a ton plus checkout? Your answer is no. And Webster
44.
is now on one of his favoured darts
24.
at a double, which is double 12. It's the first dart at a double he's missed. Double 6. And he finds that one to get
Mark
2
Webster.
points over Robert Thornton for the 3rd time in succession. So Webster, the former world champion, gets the win here with around an 85 average, 5 less than his opponent, but averages mean very little. He was visit perfect in that match on the doubles, Mark Webster, and that is why he won that match by 4 legs to 2. We're going to see Richie Burnett for the very first time in our next match. He's up against Scutt. What is the Prince of Wales going to give us tonight? He's coming up after the break. Welcome back, everyone, to the Online Darts Live League, and it is time to see our last player of the night playing their very first game. That person is none other than the very experienced 1995 World Champion, Richie Burnett, and he's up against Connor Scutt. Richie wearing a very resplendent blue tonight, up against the sniper. But here he is, the man that you've probably tuned in for. Let's face facts. He has more fans out there than I could possibly count. But this man really is gaining fans by the week. He's had a great 2021 so far, and I have a feeling that 2022 will be even better.
First leg, it's Richie to throw. Game on.
But let's get cracking with this best of 7 leg match. And Burnett will hope to keep pace with two Welshmen who have started buoyantly.
100.
Williams with 2 points. Webster with 2 points. Could we maybe see 3 Welsh players progress from this group?
60.
It is conceivable. 2021 has been about Welsh darts more than anything else. World number 1,
60.
Gerwyn Price. World champion, Gerwyn Price. Masters champion, Premier League champion, World Grand Prix champion, Johnny Clayton. Winner of the Challenge Tour Order of Merit,
83.
Jim Williams. There is a common theme here. Winner of the Sporty Stuff TV Trophy, and the winner of Phase 2, Richie Burnett. Every player I've mentioned there
101.
is Welsh. Really has been a year for the red and green. And the year's not even over yet.
26.
Now, Connor, to me, so far, looks a little flat. He had a couple of moments in his first game with Jim Williams.
125.
He's just lacking a bit of pizzazz so far. Maybe just hoping for something to kick him into gear. He did average well in his first game. Over 95.
60.
But it wasn't good enough to
Richie
beat
require
the former World Trophy
115.
champion in Jim Williams. Burnett will look at the 18 bed now to leave tops. And it is tops for the first leg.
95.
He will be back with plenty in hand. Gotta go bull.
130.
Really well done.
Richie, you require 20.
If anything, that is a really good warm-up for the next leg.
Game shot in the
Because
first
the first leg has
Richie
been taken
Burnett.
by Richie Burnett. Very steady stuff to start his campaign off. And historically, he has been known to start very good in evening sessions.
Second leg, it's Connor to throw. Game on.
There is one statistic that
100.
has to be addressed right here. And it is that Connor Scutt has never beaten Richie Burnett in 4 attempts in this room this year.
76.
One of them was on the 28th of August, and it was 4-0 to Burnett, and he averaged 103.66. But the other 3 times they've played
60.
were this week. That is a big, big thing, because it will be fresh in Connor's mind that he has played Richie 3 times and lost all 3.
140.
First game they played on Monday was 4 legs to 3.
46.
But it wasn't close yesterday and on Tuesday. 4 legs to 1 on both occasions. And yet again, Burnett has the better start.
97.
But when you look at the experience of Burnett, it's quite something.
$140.
At the start of play today, Richie Burnett had played exactly the same amount of games this year as the most experienced player, Martin Adams, 228.
95. Connie, you require 150.
We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Because this second leg is in the balance.
60. Richie, you require 93.
Burnett can take real control of this match at this visit. That leaves 72. He's going to leave tops.
53.
And he does.
Connie, you require 95.
This is to defend his throw. Double 19. Can he hit it again?
57.
It was kind to him the last time he was down there in his
Richie,
previous
you
match,
require
but not
40.
on this occasion.
Game shot in the second leg.
Burnett
Richie
is just
Burnett.
really steady. He started with a 17 darter in leg 1, but he's graduated to 1 dart better than that in leg 2. But it is a break of throw, and he's already at the halfway point.
Third leg will be Richie to throw first. Game on.
Is it becoming a mental block for the 25-year-old against one of the greats of all time?
59.
I can say from experience that when you know someone constantly beats you, it is a mental hurdle. But let's talk about the overall record this year for Richie.
100.
228 games played. He's won 129. So, if he is defeated tonight, because there is no assurance that he will be beaten,
140.
his first defeat tonight, or indeed tomorrow, or indeed on Saturday, because he could win every game this week to get the grand prize. If he's beaten,
140.
the first defeat will be his 100th defeat of the year. And he will be the first person to 100 defeats in 2021.
95.
But he's looking very good for his 130th win. An overall win percentage of 56.58%. A running average of just under 90.
57.
And a personal best performance of exactly the same as his pal Robert Thornton of 109.31. He can find something better than
121.
that, I assure you. He has scared something in the region of 116 on a couple of occasions and has faltered at the last hurdle. Great approach from Connor. Huge
Richie
pressure now on
require
this 86. But it's Burnett who's getting the positions. Double 7.
79.
That was an aggressive shot as well. He was not leaving that short.
Connie require 83.
17s. Now 16s. Now the bull. And he has left
45.
himself on double 19 again.
Richie requires 7.
Let's see if he gets a look at it. Because that is right in the middle of the single 3. And that is in
Game
the double
shot in
2
the
for a
third leg.
3-0
Richie
lead.
Burnett.
Connor Scutt just can't seem to get the right opportunities at the right times against this opponent this week. It could well be a 4-0 victory for Burnett.
Fourth leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
Connor will be hoping that is not the case. He would not want to start his campaign in this group with 2 defeats.
140.
And we have to mention, of course, only 4 games per player tonight, 4 games per player tomorrow. 8 games in this group is not
100
a lot of matches. Any loss, any mistake is magnified. They've both played in a group of this nature before.
60.
They know the intricacies of it. They know the pitfalls of defeat. But Burnett, one of the most experienced players here all year, he has had his successes which have outweighed his failures. He's won weeks. He's won phases. He's hit 9 darters.
60.
He's had massive finishes.
$140.
Let's not forget that in week 2 of qualifying for this, Burnett won on the Saturday night. He knows how to get it done. Can he finish
97.
Connor Scutt off in this second match of the
Richie
night?
require 121.
With the third 121 finish hit against him tonight so far. It's not meant to be.
57.
But Scutt, who is averaging 82 here,
Connor, you require 144.
is hopefully going to get a 4th dart at a double. He's not going to get one. And Burnett might need just one more shot to finish this one off.
Richie requires 64.
He's going to get 2.
56.
And he's missed 2 match darts. That will really
Connor
annoy him.
requires 16.
Just looking at him in the background, it most definitely has annoyed him. Double 4 now for Connor.
Game shot.
And he survives by winning the 4th leg. He can now exhale because I think, just like me, I was holding my breath on that shot in the northeast corner, and this game isn't over yet.
5th leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
But we now have the possibility of the same result as yesterday and Tuesday, which was a 4-1 victory for Burnett.
58.
But do not underestimate the possibility of winning from 3-0 down. It has happened before.
100.
And it happened just a few weeks ago to Burnett, in the week that he won in qualifying in a group like this.
100.
On a Friday night, he was 3-0 up against Scott Marsh and lost 4-3. It really affected him.
134.
I'm sure that is firmly towards the back of his mind, and he will not want to be reminded of it.
140.
He has a 1 dart lead, but Scutt has got the darts in his hand now, but he needs to use them effectively.
83.
Still advantage Burnett, averaging just shy of 92. This is what we come to expect from Richie right now. He's playing some great stuff. A lot of people are favouring Richie to win the first ever World Seniors in February.
98.
There is a possibility that he might not be there, because if you qualify for the PDC Tour, you're not allowed to play in the Seniors in February.
136.
Can he find a 105
Richie
to
require
deny Connor a shot at
105.
48? Treble 15 needed. The wire separates the dart from the requisite bed, and Connor can inch closer to Richie's position.
77. Connie
Great lead from Richie. I did not expect him to go for treble 14 there. I don't think our referee did either. Double 16. And he's missed 2 match-saving darts, and Burnett now
Richie
has
require 28.
that statement that we all utter. You left it. Can you take it? Double 7 again.
14.
And he's missed more match darts.
Connor, you require 8.
That is now 5 he has missed.
Game
And
shot
double
the 5th
4
leg.
comes to the rescue of Connor Scutt once again. I don't know if this match is going to last another 2 minutes or another 5, but it's going to be one of those options.
6th leg. It's Connor to throw first. Game on.
The more darts for the match that Richie misses, the more doubt there will be placed in his heart and his brain
45.
and in his arm. Richie came second in Group A, behind Ryan Furness. He was 4 points adrift
100.
of Ryan in the end. But if you're looking for really good statistics, well, as we say in Northumberland, get your gish around this. 18 points for Burnett, 93.74 his average for the group. That was the best of everybody.
85.
He was tied for the most maximums in the group, of which he got 25. But look at this. 3 days of darts, and Richie Burnett, over 15 games, had a checkout percentage of 50%.
140.
That's right, not 15, 50%. Of every 2 darts he had at a double, he'd hit one. An astonishing
100.
effort on the outer ring. By far and above, better than anybody else in the group. But it still wasn't good enough to win it.
180.
And Connor Scutt is not out of this game now. That is a perfectly timed maximum.
$100.
Double
Connor,
18
you
to
require
take us all the
36.
way after being 3-0 down.
Game
He
shot in
is
the 6th
very
leg.
much alive.
Connor Scutt.
Really big credit we have to pay to Connor Scutt because he was down, but he isn't out. He has got off the canvas and he
7th
still has a
final
fighting
leg. It's
chance.
Richie to throw first.
This could have an incredible effect on what Richie Burnett does next.
140.
If he loses from 3-0 up, it could infect his next performances. But if he wins it, he could potentially dominate this group.
57.
Richie's next match is against Mark Webster, who has already won tonight. Connor's next game in Game 6 is against Robert Thornton.
60.
$140 needed to get on level terms. He could find it. And does.
140.
That is glorious. With a blocker under the 60 as well. Just sit back and enjoy the end of this one.
140.
As Richie grits his teeth and gets to a finish first. It's the first time we've gone the distance tonight, and this game has not disappointed at
81.
all.
Richie require 161.
If you're just joining us, Burnett has already had 5 match darts in 2 different legs. I like that play.
105.
He's taken the bullseye out of the equation. He wants multiple darts at a double to finish this off.
96.
And he has to do it now.
Richie, you require 56.
16 for tops. For a very strong last leg.
16.
And he's now missed 7 for the match in 3 different
Connor, you
legs.
require 127.
Just imagine the reaction of Burnett if Connor hits this. 57 and Bull, the only avenue left. And it's possible. He can't look.
Game,
and Connor
shot,
Scutt can
and
look
match.
because
Connor
he's won it
Scutt.
on the 1-2-7 after 7 missed darts for the match by Burnett. And he cannot believe it. I can't believe it. Well, here's the thing. We have to believe it because you've seen the instant replay. What a game that was. 3-0 up. Richie Burnett had 7 match darts in 3 different legs, but he has not won the match. Connor Scutt has, with 33% on the doubles and that 1-2-7 at the end. The best finish of the match. I think we all need a bit of a break now after that. But when we come back, it is going to be Jim Williams against Robert Thornton in match number 4. So take a break and come back with us in about 2 or 3 minutes. Welcome back to tonight's action with the Online Darts Live League. And that last match, I think, has aged Richie Burnett, but it has aided the cause of Connor Scutt. Jim Williams defeated Connor Scutt, of course, in the first match of the night. And since then, Robert Thornton has suffered defeat to Mark Webster. They now do battle in match number 4. You see a career best World Cup singles winner. But don't forget that he's won the World Darts Trophy as well. And his opponent has won a fair few things too. The World Grand Prix against Michael van Gerwen. The UK Open against Phil Taylor.
First leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
He only wins big tournaments against phenomenal talents. Talents of their generation. There's nothing to say that Jim Williams' best darts
135.
aren't ahead of him. I have to say that maybe they are.
137.
He's really going to fancy his chances going to the Grand Slam in 3 weeks. And if you'd have offered Jim Williams the year that he's had to date, back in January, he would have sawn your arm off. He can now plan for the next couple of years as to what he wants to do. But tonight, against Robert Thornton and company, he is going to be tested to see how good he is right now. Oh, he's very good indeed.
121.
And he is first to a finish.
100. Jimmy require 105.
Lots of options on 105 with your opponent. Just a little bit ahead. That leaves 48. So if he fancies tops, the single 8 is right there. But double 16 is begging too.
89.
Thornton's going to fancy this chance
Robbie
of a break of throw.
84.
He needs the bullseye.
50.
That one is pulled quite drastically into the 16.
Jimmy requires 16.
And it brings a bit of a smile for Robert. He's getting really close.
No score.
But not close enough.
Robert, you require 34.
Double 17. The most neglected double on the board.
Game shot in the
But
first
he hasn't
leg.
neglected it here.
Robert
It's
Thornton.
given him a really valuable break of throw at the start of this match against a very dangerous opponent. And in this truncated group, he's got to get points early, has Robert Thornton.
Second leg, it's Robert throwing first. 96.
The first match of the night for Robert. He averaged a good 4 points more than his opponent, but came away the 4-2 loser. And that leads me to my next point. Earlier today, in our 15-game group, or day 1 of Group C, the first 8 games all went with the throw. Now, I have not seen that before. That means that the person throwing first
140
in the first leg has gone on to win the match. In the first 8 fixtures.
96.
In direct contrast to that, this evening, the first 3 games have been won by the player who does not have the throw. So we are having a complete opposite night to what we saw earlier today.
140. 60.
If you're a bit old school and you used to put the pools
Jimmy
on,
require 127.
you would say that the first 3 matches tonight are against the throw or indeed an away win. Williams needs the same checkout that Connor Scutt has just had.
102.
And he almost got it.
Robert, you require 115.
15 in tops for 2-0.
Game shot
A
in the
superb
second leg.
checkout,
Robert Thornton.
especially when you consider the transition of the dart from the left hand to the right was not pure. He had to fidget with that third dart before
Third
he
leg,
delivered it,
Jim to throw
and it was
first.
still
Game
pinpoint
on.
for a 2-0 lead. Great response from Robert. 103.6
97.
average here to date. Williams is averaging 106, but he hasn't won a leg yet.
40.
Just more proof that averages do lie. Averages don't tell the full story. You would rather win a match with a 75 average than lose with 105.
180. 92.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jim knows that that last score was a 140. If my eyes deceive me.
$60.
Well, Robert's not going to leave a finish from here. That is for sure. But he's going to get close.
140. Jimmy require 164.
Does he want to go for it? Well, he does.
96.
Ends up leaving 68. He did, of course, have the option of just staying on the treble 20 to leave double 12 with a 140, but
68.
now he's under huge pressure to hit this. Because if he doesn't, Thornton could be in.
36.
What does Robert want to do? Does he want to go bull
Robert,
first
you
or
require 90.
20s first? He's in really quickly. Doesn't really scare it,
24.
and he wants all three of those darts back, I assure
Jimmy
you.
require 32. Game shot in the
Double
third
16
leg.
gives Jim Williams the third leg, so he is in this match now. But Robert Thornton will rue that opportunity at that 90 checkout to take a 3-0 lead. He made a real hash of it.
Fourth leg, it's Robert to throw first. $140.
Not that I am one person to throw criticism Robert's way. He is a former roommate of mine. But when he throws a visit like that, the first person to
85.
criticise Robert will be Robert. The second person to criticise him
100.
will be Mrs. Thornton. And she is single-handedly the biggest motivator in his life.
100. 180.
Magnificent maximum. He really does want to take a 3-1 lead, doesn't he? He has already had a very similar leg to this earlier tonight in defeat.
134.
But taking this
Robert,
out right
you
now
require
will give him a
81.
2-leg buffer. Just going to line up tops.
51.
He was regarded
41.
for many years as being the best double top shooter in the world. But I think his title of the best top shooter has been taken by Ryan Searle.
150.
Look at that approach from Jim Williams,
Robert,
though.
you require 40. Game shot.
Doesn't
in the
matter
fourth
because
leg.
Thornton
Robert
is in at
Thornton.
tops. And maybe he heard me when I said that his double top crown has been taken by Heavy Metal of Devon, of course, not of Somerset. But he has got a 3-1 lead.
Fifth leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
If Ryan's watching, I'm sorry that I said you were from Somerset. I'm sure he will hate that. He's from the beautiful county of Devon.
100.
Robert is from the southwest of Scotland. Very proud of that fact as well.
96.
When he first came into BDO Darts around 2006, 2007, a lot of people didn't know who he was, but he announced himself really quickly.
180.
Made his way to the PDC within 2 years of turning pro, and you could say that he's never looked back. When he doesn't look back, he's not that kind of player. What he wants to do right now is get himself back in the elite to have another crack at more titles, because he believes he can still do it. And what is it we say about Robert?
140.
You never put Robert in the corner.
Jimmy required 157.
Come out swinging. And Robert's made a huge error there, leaving 165. That's not like him to make a mathematical mistake or tactical mistake, but it could cost him.
137.
Because Williams is going to get 3 darts at double 10. Robert's hoping he misses all 3 because he's sitting on double 16 now.
Jimmy required 20.
After a brilliant scoring leg from both players. Last chance.
No
and how has that not found its way into the red bit? Robert Thornton will think it's Christmas because he's now got 3 darts to win. And he wins straight away with a 4-1 scoreline. That really does resurrect his chances of having a very good Thursday evening. Let's have a little look at the statistics from this one because they are magnificent. 104.53 from Robert Thornton, 103 for Williams. Only gets him 1 leg for his trouble, but 67% on the doubles. And yet again, somebody has won against the throw. So it's 4 wins tonight against the throw. Will we see that again in match 5 as we reach the halfway point after the break? And it's an all-Welsh affair as we see Richie Burnett up against Mark Webster coming up in about 2 or 3 minutes. welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Online Darts Live League. It is Group B, and we are almost at the halfway point of our matches tonight. But match 5, as it comes in now, is one of the highlights for tonight. It's an all-Welsh clash with Burnett against Mark Webster. Webster currently top, but if Burnett wins this one, after losing from 3-0 up in his last match,
it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
We will have a situation that is very akin to what we saw earlier today. We had, in the first 6 matches,
140.
earlier on in Group C, 6 players on 2 points. We could have 5 players on 2 points, all at the same time at the halfway point, if Burnett wins against Webster.
180.
Well, it started pretty promisingly.
119.
One thing we know about these two, they're not going to hang around. They know each other about as well as anybody in this group. So well, in fact, that 95. They have played in the same team before. When I was playing World Cup with Simon Whitlock for Australia, these two were playing for Wales.
46.
And in fact, my team played against their team. And Wales won. What a great first leg this is.
140.
It's Burnett who gets to a finish first.
$140.
He has to hit it because Webster's got an easier finish. Needs the 18s. And he needs a bull.
54.
Oh, he's left double 17 if given the chance.
Richie last score was 52, sorry. Mark, you require 56.
Double top. 2 10s for the lead in the first leg.
36.
It just
Richie,
didn't work out.
34.
And Richie goes for double 17, the most neglected double on the board, but decides to go for 2 double 16, and what a really good plan that was. So he takes himself away from the odd double and gives himself only 2 shots instead of 3, but it was the right thing to do because he got it hit.
Second leg, it's Richie to throw. Game on.
We saw a double 17 in the previous match, and that was the 27th time that double 17 has been hit this year.
140.
And if you consider the amount of doubles hit in 2021, 27 hits at a double is not a lot.
40.
I'm pretty sure, without looking, that double 17 has been hit less times than any other double on the board this year.
55.
It's not often I get the opportunity to talk about a match of this magnitude.
99.
You're talking about 2 world champions here. 2 former world number 1s in the BDO system. When you put these two in a locked room together, there will be some proper banter. These two, when in the right mood, are borderline bonkers in a good way.
59.
But there is one thing about this game that is important to Mark Webster. And I'm going to talk about that next in leg 3.
94.
It's incredibly significant to Webster. And he might go into leg 3 2-0 down.
133.
Not for the lack of trying, though. He's left himself on a finish.
72.
Sensible use of the 19s there. Got to go 13 bull now.
$47.
He just checked Mark's position there.
170.
Because for a small second he was thinking, I might lay up. Mark gave it a great chance.
81. Richie, you require 25.
Double 8 to double the lead. Got to do it from the angle. This is tricky. Oh,
9.
that is unbelievable.
Mark, you require 89.
Mark will think, all right, if you don't want it, I do. Can he hit the bull?
64.
He can't. And this time Richie gets 3 at double 8 instead of 2.
Richie requires 16.
That's a little bit further away. It could be kind.
Game shot
And
in
it
the
was,
second leg.
because
Richie
you
Burnett.
saw that little shake of that first dart in the black segment on the outside of the board, which doesn't register any points, but it did help the next one go into the right segment.
Third leg, it's Mark throwing first.
So let's talk about that significant nature of Webster against Burnett. It was September 2010
180.
as Webster gets his first maximum of this match. September 2010. It's a place called
100.
Bad Nauheim in Germany. And I'm sharing a room with Mark Webster and our friend Lewis Jones. In a hotel
60.
on Elvis Presley Way in that town. I've never forgotten that. We all went there full of beans thinking, yeah, I want to get a title this week. Richie Burnett made the final on the Saturday
61.
and on the Sunday. But he didn't win either tournament. On the Sunday, he lost to Simon Whitlock.
97.
On the Saturday, he lost to Mark Webster. And that is, to date, Mark Webster's only PDC title. Considering he's played in Premier Leagues, World Championships, making
60.
semi-finals. He's made
Mark
the semi-finals of the World Grand Prix. The fact that he's only got one PDC title is a bit of a mystery.
100.
He's also played in the final of the Players' Championship finals, where he lost to Kevin Painter. But his one PDC title was against his opponent in this
60.
match.
Mark, you require 64.
Should be a single 8 because he prefers tops to 16s.
Game
And
shot
that's
in the
why,
third leg. Mark
beautiful
Webster.
line on that dart. He couldn't have been more central if he tried. If you draw 2 straight lines to the left and right of that 20 segment, that one hit the middle of the bed. Beautifully done.
Fourth leg, it's Richie to throw first.
Somewhat perplexing statistics.
40.
As all of the momentum on that third dart was dragged by that first flight. But a 91 average for Webster here and only 83 for Burnett.
123.
Trust me, Richie will not care what his average is, as long as he gets 2 points.
108.
He does get his second maximum of the match, though, to rescue what he didn't get in his first visit.
140. 60.
You just hope that Richie is not too bruised from losing that match to Connor Scutt in match 3. Missed 7 match darts against Connor and lost from 3-0 up. He has the lead once again, but there is a real possibility that he could surrender this 2-0 lead. But then again,
140.
He might use
Mark,
it
you
well.
require 138.
he's going to have a shot at the 81 for 3-1.
26. Richie require 81.
To be within one of 2 points again. Ooh, he didn't go for the 16 and bull.
Game shot and
Well,
the
that
fourth
was
leg.
really
Richie
courageous
Burnett.
and incredibly unexpected. As soon as he left 66, I'm looking at the 16 segment on the board. And then I have to jet my eyes
This
to
leg
the
is
right
marked
because
for
he went
loser.
for treble 10 and double 18. It worked out. But that was a risky play.
180.
Again, Webster starts with a maximum. And he equals the score in maximums, 2-all.
85.
Burnett will be hoping that this isn't the point where his opponent goes a little bananas once again.
$99.
Now, Mark Webster is a fanatical Manchester United fan. And he will be a little bit bruised
140.
in his own heart after that drubbing by Liverpool last weekend. And even though he hasn't had the ideal start in this match,
140.
he still has the opportunity of clawing this back, unlike Manchester United on Sunday. And luckily for Mark Webster, Richie Burnett is no Mo Salah.
95.
But on the dartboard,
Mark, you require 82.
he's a bit of a wily campaigner. For a 12 darter and to start the comeback.
Game
He
shot in
finds
the fifth
that
leg.
trusty
Mark
double
Webster.
top once again. You just can't count him out. Solid, solid stuff. And Burnett has got company after
Six leg.
5
Richie
legs.
to throw first.
If he doesn't get
Game
it
on.
done by 4 legs to 2, he has every right to twitch a little bit come the last leg of the contest once again.
97.
In true world champion style, Webster showing no emotion and behaving like a swan. Might feel that heart thumping under
100.
his black shirt, but he will not show anything. Webster, who has had a number
60.
of teammates in PDC World Cup history. He is one of the best players in the PDC World Cup's history itself. One of the best singles records. Played with Jamie Lewis, played with Gerwin Price. Made the final with
100.
Gerwin Price. Played with Barry Bates and Richie Burnett.
45.
Webster would be very, very wise to keep his distance. He does not want to get an ankle in the shin from the follow-through of Burnett. Just look at the position there
81.
of Burnett. He's far back. Mark is a lot closer. And if I were him, I'd stand a further 2 or 3 feet away.
59.
This one is following a very similar path to match 3. And if
60.
Webster does win this match somehow, he will be the first player to 4 points in this group. And he will be a force to be reckoned with. He's averaging 97 here, is Webby. To Burnett's 87.
100. Mark, you require 160.
This is for a tied game. Got to go south now.
40.
Only comes up with 40.
Richie, you require 140.
All he wants to do now is leave tops.
43.
And he can't do that. He only finds a small treble.
Mark, you require 120.
Great first start. Perfect second.
100.
And it's not there.
Richie required
So Burnett
97.
left this from 140. Can he find a big treble to give himself 2 for the match? The answer's no. But he does get 1 at double 12. 1 match dart right here.
73.
And it's the 8th match dart he's missed
Martin
tonight.
required 20.
Does Webster take us to the limit? Double 5. Oh,
Game shot
huge.
is 6 leg.
He's still
Mark
got
Webster.
some kahunas as Mark Webster, because it's not a huge checkout to take us to the 7th leg, but it is a really key double 5, and it's a bit of deja vu for Burnett.
7th and final leg. It's Mark to throw first.
If Burnett loses from 3-0 up against Scutt and then 3-1 up against Webster, I would leave him alone
100.
for 5 minutes. Not only would Webster be the first player to 4 points, but Burnett would be the first player
44.
tonight to not win in his first 2 games.
$59.
These two played on the 31st of July. Their only meeting this year. It was won by Webster by 4 legs to 1.
180.
But is there another twist? In that game, Webster was magnificent. He averaged 99.6.
100.
Burnett was not so good. 82 for him. So much going on in the head of Richie Burnett right now.
78.
He's thinking, please just let me get over the line here. But you can't hope to get over the line.
25.
You have to run through it. He's been given a great opportunity there from Webster, who comes up dry, and Burnett dips his bread. Got to go south.
137.
It's a great visit. Webster has to get to a finish. But he
40.
can't. He's done
Richie
so
requires
much good work
62.
in the last couple of legs. But maybe Burnett has got too much in the tank. And he has found a 62
And
checkout
match.
to win
Richie
this
Burnett.
by 4 legs to 3 in the end. So he has reversed what happened in match 3. You can see that the averages are extremely similar. The checkered percentages are extremely similar, but it's Burnett who walks away with the 2 points. It was an encapsulating game, but luckily for Burnett, he walks away with the 2 points here. And everybody in this table has now got 2 points. When we come back, we will have more action for you, but have a little bit of a breather before we go into the second half. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's online darts coverage. And it is an incredible night so far. I really hope you haven't missed the first 5 matches tonight. We really have enjoyed it. And we've got 5 more for you to go. So, sit down and enjoy as Connor Scutt now takes on Robert Thornton. It is Champions Week. And look at this group. 5 games in. And we have every player with 1 win registered. That's about to change.
First leg is Connor to throw first. Game on.
But just imagine if we can repeat that over the course of the next 5 matches and have all players on 4 points going into tomorrow night. That would be a first. Nobody's going to dominate this group by the looks of it.
140.
But maybe Robert Thornton is ready to take this by the scruff of the neck, because let's face it, in his last performance against Jim Williams, he was delightful.
140.
Best performance of the night, averaging 104.53, 67% on the doubles, and a 115 checkout to boot.
45.
But as far as last performances are concerned, look no further than what Connor Scutt did to Richie Burnett.
96.
3-0 down, down and out, apparently. And ends up winning 4 legs to 3.
100.
So you could say that Connor Scutt was massaging his inner Robert Thornton in showing a tenacious nature. The Online Darts Live League, it delivers.
96.
We've had drama aplenty so far. And it will be Thornton who finishes
80.
his campaign first tonight. He's got this game here against Connor and a game against his old pal Richie Burnett in match 8, and that will be him done. Double 16 sees the first leg done right there.
Scutt.
That was beautiful. And it seems to me that when he gets his confidence going, he's pretty hard to stop. He's now won 5 straight legs.
Second leg, it's Robert throwing first. $36.
If you're looking for clues as to who is going to win this group, or indeed clues as to who's going to be in the top 3, I am supposed to be the master analyst right here, and I'm struggling. This is an incredibly tight group. And at this point, it's almost impossible to predict who's going to come through it.
26.
If people can't be separated by points, we look at leg difference. If they can't be separated by leg difference, we look at legs 1.
100.
And then we have to look at their head-to-head record in the group. But in a 2-day group, it could be 1-1.
140.
And if they're tied after that, we have to look at averages. I have a sneaky suspicion that this time tomorrow, we might have to keep an eye on those averages.
60.
Trust me, our statisticians do not want to look at those averages, because it changes dart to dart.
130.
Good visit, but it doesn't leave a finish.
$91.
We've got 2 players here who are smaller in stature, but that doesn't matter in darts.
100.
We don't have height advantages in this sport.
Connor,
what we do have is another attempt at 110. He got it in the first leg. Could he do it again with a different route? He could.
92.
But he hasn't quite got there.
Robert, you require 62.
One dart at tops to level.
42.
Just short. And maybe he wishes
Connie
he
require
was
18.
about half an inch taller for that one. Double four.
Game
And
shot
that
in the
really
second
has
leg.
saved
Connor
his
Scutt.
bacon tonight. If he's a vegetarian, it's saved something. Because 3 times now tonight, double four has come to his aid. And it has given him a vital leg every single time.
Third leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
Twice against Burnett, it was vital. And it's given him a 2-0 lead
60.
against the man we call Chocolate. Something to do with Thornton. Now you get it.
180.
Thornton is not the kind of player you want to anger.
100.
Because he takes his frustration out on the dartboard. Maybe not in the same way as Colin Lloyd did once by punching the dartboard.
100.
But he likes to bash that 60.
100.
This is a great leg from Thornton. When he gets it right,
180.
it's a simple game. And you just fancy he's going to hit one and tops for an 11 darter the next time he comes to the board.
100. Robert, you require
Come on then,
41.
Robert, prove me right.
Game
It's
shot in the
almost
third
as
leg.
if I
Robert
know his
Thornton.
game inside and out. That is the best leg we've seen all night long. And for the man I've shared a hotel room with many, many times, he has just proven me right with that 11 darter.
Fourth leg, it's Robert to throw first.
I suppose it's at this point I can tell you a very honest story, which I'm sure Robert won't mind me telling. Is that
140.
when we were at a tournament in Dinslaken in Germany over 10 years ago, we had a very, very early flight home from Dusseldorf.
57.
And as tenacious and aggressive on the dartboard as Robert is, he's a bit of a sweetheart. I couldn't sleep one night, so I ended up watching
100.
the movie Underworld in German. Didn't understand a word of it. But the best part of the night was that Robert was singing in his sleep. He was pitch perfect as well.
140. 140.
Big family man is Robert Thornton. He loves everything about his family life. And whenever something happens in his family, he is always very generous with his time talking about
85. Robert, you require
everybody in his family.
121.
But right now, he's at work.
81.
And he's doing some good stuff, considering he was 2-0 down. He's now raised his average to 103. And he's now at the same sort of level he was against Jim Williams.
140. Robert, you require 40.
Tops again.
Game
And
shot the
Tops
fourth
gives him a
leg. Robert
14 darter
Thornton.
this time, which is around the 107 average mark. He's not at that level with his entire average in this match. But boy, is he the better player now.
Fifth leg, it's Connor
But he
to throw
still has
first.
work to
Game
do
on.
because he doesn't have the darts. With possibly 3 legs to go. He has to find a break once again.
140. 60.
Just to add a little bit more into the melting pot for tonight's players, we're talking about major champions, 4 BDO world number 1s from the
100.
past. How about the fact that Webster and Thornton have both played Premier League darts as well? And that's only
60.
been around for about 15 years. You just wonder if maybe Connor Scutt
60.
is going to have Premier League in his future. If you get to that level, you've obviously done something right.
85.
I don't think that's enough. I think Connor Scutt has really got a good chance here. Another treble
96.
would have given him a really cushy position. But this is where Thornton's got to really dip his bread. He's not going to leave a finish now. Can't get under 170.
81.
Didn't really get close.
Connor, you require 105.
So when you're in this position, you're thinking, it's okay. I can hit this with my eyes closed.
73.
That he will take because he will be back.
$120.
The sense that Robert Thornton is going to have to find
32.
2 straight legs again to win this match. It is the case because Scutt, after having the lead at 1-0 and at 2-0, was reined in, but he now has the lead back at 3-2. So Thornton, like I said, needs 2 straight from here.
6 leg, it's Robert to throw first.
Here we have 2 players who have been involved all week long.
93.
They played in Group A and occupied the top 4. Robert was 3rd, Connor was 4th. And in their 3 matches, it was Robert
96.
who won 2 of them, with Connor winning on Monday and Robert the last couple of days. Some good performances in there too.
60.
Robert won on Tuesday by 4 legs to 3, their closest match. And Connor lost with 100 average.
58.
Now, Robert cannot take 3, 4, 8 and 6, but Connor can take 3, 4, 7 and 6. I know it's a big ask, but small margins sometimes are enough to get over the winning line. It's not often you see people taking 3, 4, 7 or 350 or 3, 4, 1 and 6. In fact, only once this year have we seen someone take the maximum 6-dart conversion of 350. That was Andy Jenkins in Phase 1 quite a few months ago. This is a sprint
139.
from Scutt.
Robert, you require 167.
And the 167 can't go. So Connor is on the cusp
83.
of being top of the table
Connor, you require 74.
after 6 matches in this group tonight. Tops.
Game,
And he has
shot,
won by
and the
4
match.
legs to
Connor
2.
Scutt.
He wins Phase 3 of that match. He also won Phase 1. So it was 2 legs at the start. He then was reeled in with the second of the next phase of darts, but he won Phase 3 by getting another 2 there. It's a good performance. 93.91 average, 44% on the doubles. He was beaten in the statistics, but not on the score sheet. So he's the first person to get to 4 points. Will he have some company? Because when we come back, it's another all-Welsh clash. We hope it's just as good as the last one. It involves Mark Webster again, but this time he's up against Jim Williams, and that's coming up after the break. Welcome back, Night Owls. It is time for some Friday morning darts now, as we have passed the midnight hour here in the UK. And it's time for another Welsh clash between Jim Williams and Mark Webster. We are guaranteed now to have a really tight group, because over the next couple of matches, Mark Webster plays Jim Williams and then Burnett plays Thornton. So we will have two players on 4 points to join Connor Scutt before he comes back to play Webster in match 9. This is going to be fascinating stuff.
First leg will be Jim to throw first. Game on.
It's been a really interesting night for Jim Williams fans and for Jim himself, because he really was brilliant in his first game against Connor Scutt.
140.
But he was taken to the cleaners a little bit, even though he played brilliantly against Robert Thornton. Best game of the night by
134.
looking at the stats anyway. But we have had a couple of belters involving Richie Burnett so far. So from a drama perspective, maybe they take the cake.
100.
But Jim, who knows a thing or two about squeaking through a group, because he did that in his campaign back in week 1 of qualifying.
57.
He only just got through to the finals that week by the merest of margins. He ended up winning the whole thing that week and picking up the £2,000 bonus.
80.
But what we have here are two winners. I'm not just talking about their careers. It's the winner of week 1 in qualifying and the winner of week 3.
$100.
A great angle there and good timing by our camera operator to show that last dart 60, which could be key, as Webster misses the second 60 there for the bullseye.
122. Jimmy required 81.
How key is that last dart 60 to set up this 81? It does give him 2 darts at double 12. Double 6 to hold in 15 darts.
75.
Big chance for Webster to break now.
Mark, you require 48.
Double 16.
Game shot in the first
Well,
leg.
it is a break of throw in 15 darts for Mark Webster. And if you heard a tinge of surprise in my voice, it's because throughout his entire career on 48, he's gone 8 tops. Not then.
Second leg is Mark throwing first.
Earlier on today, we had Mike Gillett in Group C, another left-hander.
99.
Good times on double 16 today. But for whatever reason, most left-handers prefer tops and 10s.
139.
On that occasion, for the break of throw, Webster did make the most of the 16 bed. Mark will be hoping to make the most of this opportunity now. He has got the break of throw, and if he holds from here, it will be 2 points for him. But he knows fine well that it's not that simple against this opponent.
180.
Especially now that Williams is hitting maximums. The one meeting they've had here was back on the 14th of August. It was won by Jim by 4 legs to 3, but it's not that simple. Webster was 3-1 up, and Jim won the last 3 legs to sneak attack that win.
100.
It was a high 80s average game. I assure you, at the early stages of this one, it's a little bit better than that.
145. Jim, you
both
require
way
82.
north of 100. Will that continue as Jim gets the ball for double 16?
Game
And
shot
he
in the
makes
second
that 11
leg. Jim
darter
Williams.
look absolutely delightful. One of the best legs we've seen all night. Equally, the best number of darts for a leg we have seen tonight. But with a bull double
Jim
16 at the
first.
end,
Game
somehow
on.
it just looks a little bit better. One thing that we have seen for the very first time tonight
139.
is somebody winning with the darts. That was in the last match, Connor Scutt, 4-2, and the first person to win with the throw
58.
tonight. After 5 consecutive games where people without the start at the beginning of the match. Quite incredible.
60.
I applaud everybody for tuning in tonight at this late hour. I hope you're ready for more. Because after this, we have got 3 more games.
140.
And this group is going to be about as tight as my wallet on payday.
40.
Downstairs for the 303. Looking to leave 132.
130.
Has to settle for a 170. But it's still good stuff.
$58. Mark, you require 170.
Could he possibly? Still possible. Still possible. Bullseye.
145.
Could have taken a 303 and 6. If you needed proof that Mark Webster can still play at a very elite level, just look at what he's done.
100.
Not in the
Mark,
last
you
few
require
years, not in the
25.
last few months. Just look at what he's doing now. Double 12. That
Game
is
shot
a
in the third
14
leg.
dart break
Mark
of throw,
Webster.
so we know nothing about holds of throw in this match so far, because 3 legs in, everything has been a break.
Fourth leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
Mark and I have talked a lot about equipment, not just darts themselves, but boards, accessories,
97.
things that you need to be a very good dart player. He prides himself on the fact that he's not one to change much about his equipment. But if you look at what he used to win the World Championship 13 years
100.
ago to what he's using now, it's a big change. He used to use a very shiny dart with a lot less in the way of
58.
grooves on the dart. It was a longer stem, a bigger flight. But he has had his trials and tribulations over the last few seasons. He suffered a bout of the dreaded dartitis for a while.
180.
And I learned something in the last few days from Mark. He had a dartboard made specifically for him to help him out of dartitis by his sponsor Winmount. And that is proof that you do need help sometimes as a professional dart player when times are really tough.
100.
And anybody who comes through dartitis and is still playing at an elite level gets my respect.
41.
The likes of Mervyn King,
Jimmy require
Mark Walsh
121.
and Webster come to mind. And indeed, Mensa Sulevic. He couldn't get another 121, could he? He could. He's already hit 2 tonight.
105.
He hasn't got a third. But this is an amazing game of darts. Webster's average is 100. Williams, 106.
Jim, you require 16.
And for a 4th break of throw in this match, Double 8.
Game
And
shot
that
in the
is
fourth
another
leg.
break of
Jim
throw.
Williams.
We can't find a hold of throw. And I think that is the reason for Mark Webster turning away there. Because if he'd found a hold, he would have been in a very much commanding position.
Fifth leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
We all say as players, all we want is one break of throw.
100.
Whether you've got the darts or not. Get one break, hold your throw, job done. It's never that simple.
140. $100.
Jim Williams has been playing at a very high level for the last few seasons. And all that experience of playing
82.
WDF Darts, Online Darts Live League, BDO Darts, Challenge Tour Darts, all that experience is about to be tested. I will be really intrigued
45.
to see who is going to be in his Grand Slam group come the middle of November. Not the only challenge to a player who's been given a spot, of course. Matt Campbell of Canada
140.
will be in the Grand Slam also because he won the challenge tour based in continental Europe. So he's going to be on the tour for the next couple of years. And he is going to be at the World Championship too.
42.
The man they
Mark, you
called
require
the Ginger
139.
Ninja. Well, it's going to happen again. How many times in this match have we seen the person against the throw leaving a double after 12? What is it they say? It's not a break of throw unless you hold in the next leg. Double 10. That's a great shot from Mark Webster. It's another break of throw. That's 5 breaks of throw that we've got now. And if we do get that magical hold right now, it will be a 4-2 win for Webby.
Sixth leg, it's Mark to throw first. Game on.
And if they are communicating with each other at the back of the room there, it's probably because of the breaks of throw. I have been involved in a best of 11 match where there were 11 breaks of throw. It is infuriating when you are on the end of defeat in a game like that. Because surely you're thinking to yourself, of course I can hold at least
100.
once. But if Williams walks away from this match 4 legs to 2 down,
140.
The crux of the matter is he hasn't been able to hold his throw. And he had the darts at the start.
$140.
Webster should have gone south, but if he gets 420s here, he will leave a finish. Oh, and he does find 420s. So he has the opportunity of a Lloydie. That's what I like to call it. Finishing a match on a 170. And considering
60.
Colin Lloyd is one of Mark Webster's best pals, let's call it a Lloydie. He won't care as long as he takes the 170 and 6.
64.
Sensible use of the bullseye to get himself in treble, single, double range. But look at this score shrink. Look at Webster's face. He knew this was coming.
Mark, you require 106.
Treble 18. For his first match dart.
74.
And it was for the first hold in the match.
Jimmy requires 60.
Are we going to get break number 6? depends on what Jim does now. On the same double that Mark has just missed for the match. And he's found break 6.
6 leg.
What a puzzling match this has been from the start to almost finish. Because we could potentially, in leg 7, have a match without a hold of throw.
7th and final leg. It's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Now is it key for Jim to have the throw. Because only once tonight have we seen someone win a match starting with the throw, and what the maximum that is. He's the only person who's hit maximums in this match. He's got 3 of them. On the other hand, oh, showing some real coconuts there, Mark Webster.
$100.
What a great game this has been, albeit infuriating for the players. Immensely entertaining for all the rest of the people tuning in.
81.
Both still averaging in 3 figures. And I think Webster knows that Williams is finding his best form
140.
at the very end. Got to get to 100 here. He must force this dart in.
140.
Immensely clever stuff.
Jimmy require 81.
And I have to tip my hat to both guys here. This has been an amazing match. But it could be over in 11.
Game, shot.
What a
and
game.
The match. Jim
what
Williams.
a last leg. Both players, please take a bow because you both really do deserve it. But Jim Williams finds the only hold of throw in the entire match in the very last leg. We have 6 breaks, and then all of a sudden, the one hold we get is in 11 darts. He closes out Webster, who was sitting on an 11 darter himself with 100 left. But look at those stats. They paint a very pretty picture indeed. Prettier for Jim Williams than Mark in the end. So Jim is now on 4 points, joining Connor Scutt. They will be joined by either Robert Thornton or Richie Burnett, who will go toe-to-toe after the break. Welcome back, everybody, and tonight's action is not disappointing. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. But things are about to take another twist in this very tight table in Group B, with Thornton about to take on Richie Burnett. Here you can see Burnett in third position as it stands, and Robert in fifth, who will complete his quarter of 4 matches right now. And if he picks up a win, he will join Williams and Scutt on 4 points, with those two players still awaiting their final encounter of Thursday night.
First leg, it'll be Robert to throw first. Game on.
But allow me to say this while I still can, because we still have this possibility of every
43.
player being on the same points going into Friday. And I'm not just talking about the fact that it is already Friday here. It's almost 12:30 in the morning. But if the next 3 matches
85.
follow this pattern, every player will have 4 points going into later tonight. Robert wins this game.
134.
If Mark Webster wins the next game, and if Richie Burnett wins the last game of the night against Jim Williams, that will mean that all 5 players will be on 4 points going into night 2. And that's never happened before.
140.
The problem with that scenario is that Richie Burnett
96.
would have to beat Jim Williams after losing to Robert Thornton, and Jim Williams for the night is averaging 100. But let's cross that bridge when we come to it.
140.
Because we are talking about 2 players here who have played each other so many times this year that they may be sick of the sight of each other.
18. Richie require 136.
Richie would take 96 to leave tops. Well, that 60 is firmly blocked.
45.
And I don't think he's thought that one out very well. After the first start, he should have gone to the 19s and banked 4 of them to leave tops. Now, things are very different. He's on 91, and Robert has closed him down. Just to rub my nose in it. Richie Burnett needs tops.
50.
Oh, he won't believe that that hasn't dropped in.
Robert, you require 70.
Can Robert show him where tops is?
Game
yes, he can.
first leg.
And
Robert
that is classic Robert Thornton. He will do everything he can to leave that double top bed. And this time he's pinpoint. He doesn't even need the guide
Second
just
leg,
above that
Richie
tops
throw
bed
first.
to
Game
take
on.
that 1-0 lead.
$96.
This is their 16th meeting this year. I'm not even going to look at this juncture of what they've done previous to 2021.
140.
Let's touch on that a little bit later on Friday night. Of their 15 meetings so far, it is 8 victories for Burnett and 7 for Thornton, showing that over all those matches they are still very evenly balanced.
125.
And the funny thing is, if you go all the way back to the 23rd of March, that is the point where Richie Burnett put in his
60.
best individual performance of the year. It was against Robert Thornton when he beat him 4 legs to 0 with an average
58.
of 109.31. Even though he's played something in the region of 200 more matches since then, he still hasn't beaten that average.
140.
And it remains quite incredibly, I was looking for a better word than incredibly,
138.
the only
Richie
ton plus
requires
average
65.
in any match they've played. That leaves 48. That leaves 32.
33.
That still leaves 32, with Robert sitting
you
on
require
tops.
40.
And
Game shot in
Thornton
the second
hits
leg.
tops.
Robert Thornton.
Just a message to Richie Burnett in this match. He's not going to be able to hear this, but for everybody watching, do not leave Robert on tops with 3 darts in hand.
Third leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
He's had a somewhat perplexing evening, has Robert.
60.
Started with a defeat against Mark Webster. Had the better average against Mark, but still lost. The response after that, incredible. The best performance of the night
180.
individually, as we see Richie Burnett's first maximum in this match. 104.53 in beating Jim Williams by 4 legs to 1. And then he suffered a 4-2 loss to Connor Scutt. But overall, you'd have to say that Thornton's played well tonight. He's averaging well over 90 for the night.
59.
And considering his average for the week coming into tonight was just a shade over 90, he has raised his level. But the quality of this group
91.
has magnified how hard it is to get points. Richie didn't get any trebles there. And for me, from 262, he didn't think that out right.
100.
Robert does well to get to a finish first. And not only is this table tightly packed on points, but it's tightly packed in leg difference as well. We have 3 players on an all square leg difference, 1 player on +1, and 1 player on -1.
170.
The entire pack
Robert,
of players can be separated by 2 legs. No shot for Thornton on the 115, but a great
99.
approach from Burnett.
Richie require 32. Game shot in the
First
third
leg
leg.
of
Richie
this
Burnett.
penultimate match for Burnett tonight, and he takes that double 16 with no stress whatsoever. He might have made a tactical mistake a couple of visits ago, but it didn't hurt him.
Fourth leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
So we are back on throw, but Thornton still has the impetus.
$85.
Robert having a little bit of a look to the sky there. I assure you, he can't see stars. All he can see are roof tiles.
93.
It would be rather nice to play darts under the night sky. Would be a bit chilly in there, though, this time of year.
60.
Dart players do not like to play in cold atmospheres. They'd much rather it be slightly hot. But this time of year, in the autumn,
65.
these rooms are perfect. Around about 20 degrees Celsius. That is the temperature that dart players like to play in.
$96.
Decent switch there from Richie, who has won one of their meetings this week.
100.
In fact, he won yesterday by 4 legs to 3 in snagging second position in the table from Robert. It didn't make any difference as far as the table was concerned. He was still 4 points behind Ryan Furness. But on Monday and Tuesday, it was Robert who won.
Richie, you require 80.
Is it going to be level? After 4 here, double 10. And we
Game
do
shot in the
have
fourth
a level
leg.
game
Richie Burnett.
with a 14 darter from Richie Burnett here. Let's have another look at it. Perfect 60. Perfect double 10. And it's all down
Fifth
to
leg,
whether
Robert
Robert Thornton can
Game
hold
on.
twice. Or hold, then break. If he can't do one of those two things,
96.
Burnett will win this match.
$120.
Burnett came through as the week 2 winner. And Thornton came through as the week 3 runner-up.
83.
They've shared many a campaign over the course of the last 7 months. Their second home this year has been the Online Darts Live League. And I know they are thoroughly grateful for all the opportunities they've been given. But look at that!
180.
3 magnetised shots there.
140.
If you needed proof that Richie Burnett can get those darts close together, just look at that previous visit.
41.
That is what we call, in the industry, back to normal. A 180 followed by a 26 or a 40-odd score. Back
45.
down to earth.
Richie, you require 157.
Wouldn't surprise me if he takes this. It would shock me now because it's impossible. But if Robert wants a 3-2 lead,
91.
I would advise him to go 57 first here.
Robert, you require 137.
The 2 double tops. He's left himself handily placed.
Richie, you require 66.
But I fear for his chances with Burnett on a 2 darter. He's just taken 80 in 2. He might take 66 in 2. Double 9, biggest start of the match so far.
Game shot in the
and it is
fifth leg.
planted
Richie
into
Burnett.
the green with Burnett making his move now. And he's trying to scupper our chances of having all 5 players on 4 points going into later today. Come on, Richie.
Sixth leg, it's Richie to throw
Not
first.
that I'm biased because I'm completely
Game on.
sitting on the fence tonight. But that situation of having everybody on the same points going into tonight's play, it would be rather incredible to see it. But don't forget about the scenario
85.
that Richie wants. He wants to finish on 6 points tonight. And if he wins here and beats Jim Williams, that will be the
100.
case. And that will not be good news for Thornton, who will finish the night on 2 points. And he may well be
100.
the only person to finish on 2. He could finish in the bottom spot. Because if he loses to Burnett here,
140.
and Webster beats Connor Scutt next, Thornton will be bottom.
$100.
Sometimes you look at Burnett and you think he's in pain. It might be physical pain,
55.
but it shouldn't be game pain. He's currently 3-2 up, averaging 100. 3 hits from 7 attempts on the doubles as well. That's pretty good. But Thornton tonight, when he's lost with good stats.
60.
Robert is currently averaging 94 with 67% on his doubles. That's usually a match-winning formula, but not in this company.
138. Richie require
We
156.
saw a 156 this morning from Sean Griffiths in his first leg of the day.
$45.
Oh, it's a big slip. That could well
Robert, you
be a
require
red
68.
flag to offer Thornton the chance to take us all the way.
60.
Oh, and how was that missed? When he threw that one, he
Richie,
was
you require
positive it was going in.
111.
That might be the last dart he throws tonight. But it won't be. He's assured of having at least one more visit. Single 14 maybe.
76.
That was a bit lazy. I think he knows that.
Robert, you require 8.
Double 4.
Game
And he
shot in
does
his sixth
survive
leg.
and takes
Robert
this one
Thornton.
all the way. Robert Thornton was dicing with game death there, but we are going all the way. Not for the first time tonight. Plenty of drama still to come in this one.
7th and final leg. It's Robert to throw first.
Can't say that Richie didn't have his chance, but he hasn't had
100.
a match start. Neither has Robert. And usually these are the best matches. Usually in these scenarios, it just takes the one match start
60.
to take care of business.
$100.
Thornton is doing that old school thing in a one-leg shootout. He's tunning down. He's forcing Burnett to get more than a ton, which he does.
140.
He equalises after 6. There's a
140.
lovely relaxed nature about that 140. So smooth with the delivery. Oh, and it's on the
80.
floor. So is Richie.
Robert, you require 161.
6 darts from 161. He couldn't ask for a better position, really, after 9 darts.
43.
And he hasn't used it very well. Richie has got to a finish.
83.
But it's not a very easy one. It's the
Robert, you
Della.
require 118.
Well, what does Robert do now?
94.
He leaves double 12. And he will
Richie
hold his
require
breath
138.
that he's coming back. He is coming back. And that scenario is still possible that all players
100.
could have 4 points at the
Robert,
end
you
of
require
play.
24.
Does Robert have 4 points?
Game,
Yes, he does.
shot,
He
and the
wins
match.
by 4
Robert
legs to
Thornton.
3. So he joins Connor Scutt, and he does join Jim Williams. They're finished when they play their next matches, but the first person to finish their quarter tonight is Robert. He's won with the inferior average, and he has won just on the percentage there, but he gets the 4 legs he needs for 4 points. He will join us again a little bit later on Friday, but Richie Burnett will join us in match 10. As far as match 9 is concerned, it's Scutt against Webster. That's coming up right after this. Hello everyone, and thanks for staying up so late if you're watching in the UK on Sporty Stuff TV. Really looking forward to this penultimate match between Mark Webster and Connor Scutt, and it could see Mark Webster get to 4 points alongside Connor at the end of the night. Just look at this table. It couldn't be closer if we'd tried. And look at the leg difference as well. 3 players all square. Connor on 1 and Richie Burnett on -1. Things could change in the last 2 matches.
First leg will be Mark to throw first. Game on.
One thing we do know is that if Connor Scutt wins here, he will bolster his position to 6 points and confine Webster to 2 points by the end of the night. So that scenario that I talked about at the beginning of the last match is still on. If Webster wins this game and Burnett wins the last game,
140.
Everyone has 4 points, and I know I'm mentioning it a lot, but it really does magnify just how close this group is.
41.
How about some more evidence to bolster that fact? Not one match tonight has been 4-0. The most dominant
100.
performance we've seen was from Robert Thornton beating Jim Williams by 4 legs to 1. And the rest of the matches have either been 4-2 or 4-3.
50.
Even in that defeat, Jim Williams averaged 103. So this has been, standard-wise and drama-wise, one of the best groups we've seen.
99.
And it is Webster who has come out the traps here.
$96. Mark, you require 104.
60 in Motown. 4 for tops.
Game
And
shot
he
in
made
the
that
first leg.
15
Mark
darter look
Webster.
regulation. Very, very tidy from him. No dart there, ever in doubt. Very reminiscent
Second
of
leg
that
is
year
Connor to throw
when he
first.
won the
Game
world
on.
title. I suppose at this juncture I have to ask our audience, if you have been watching darts for a few years,
96.
where were you when Mark Webster beat Simon Whitlock in 2008?
80.
Well, unless you were in Australia, you couldn't have been in the same place as me, because I know exactly where I was when that game was taking place. I was in Shepparton, Victoria,
96.
playing at a darts tournament with my friends in Northern Victoria. I ended up losing in the final that day to my good pal Sean Gibbs. And at the very time that
100.
that final was being played, Simon Whitlock was playing Mark Webster, and we were keeping in touch with that result. I think back then it was with Facebook.
139. 140.
Webster's looking very
Connor, you
relaxed.
require 170.
He'd be less so if this goes in. That looks inviting. Bullseye.
145.
I was fully expectant of that being hit.
$65.
Now, can he convert
Connor, you require
the
25.
amount of points that Mark has just hit with his last dart? 88.
Game shot.
We're
the
all
second
tied
leg.
up.
Connor
We had a
Scott.
15 darter to start things off for Mark Webster, and then we get a 14 darter from Scutt to take us to 1-1. This could be a high quality match as we go into leg 3.
Third leg is Mark to throw first. Game on. $140.
over the last few years, Mark has been spending a lot more time with his family in North Wales. His wife Sarah, his little girl Ella,
140.
and his little boy who was 3 this week.
100.
I was lucky enough to be at Mark's wedding in North Wales a few years ago. I have to say, it was one of the most enjoyable times of my life. An absolutely
93.
beautiful location. And if you've never been to North Wales and seen the likes of Llandudno or up towards the North Wales coast, go and have a little look at it.
140.
It is quite breathtaking. Not to mention the fact that most people from North Wales are completely bonkers.
141.
So it was a very good party as well.
21.
11 in bull. Oh, it was a risk.
113.
It was a risk and it didn't pay off.
Connie required.
And we know that Connor can hit this because he's already done it on the bullseye tonight. And he might do it again.
102.
But he hasn't done it this time. And Mark is one lucky boy to get these darts at double 4. Double 1.
No score.
He will despise
Connor,
what's happened in the last 20 seconds. Double 8 again. And
Game's
Connor Scutt cleans
Scott.
up 25 for the second time in a row. It is a key 25 cleanup as well, because for the first time in this match, he takes the lead.
Fourth leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
He was floored in leg 1, and he was wavering, but he's got off the canvas in similar fashion to what he's already done tonight, and has shown that he is a bit like Kevlar.
83.
He's a little bit bulletproof. Consequently, Kevlar is my nickname for Kevin Painter, because we're both big fans of Gavin and Stacey.
91.
I've had a tweet from Lee Seymour tonight, one of our regulars, asking about when Robert Thornton was looking at the roof tiles in the last match. I mentioned the possibility of playing under the stars, and Lee was indeed very correct when he said that an event has been played outdoors before in Dubai. Seems like a long time ago that was held. It's been 4 years since we've been to Dubai.
180.
Hasn't been long since our last 180. In fact, it's been about 4 or 5 seconds. No shot at the bullseye for Connor.
44.
And those misses
Mark
in leg 3 will be forgotten if Mark takes this. Doesn't get a shot.
38.
And Connor is looking to triple down here.
86.
2 18s in bull will give him a 3-1 lead. But he gets 3 for double 7.
Game
And
shot
that
in the
is
fourth leg.
incredible
Connor
finishing
Scott.
from Connor Scutt. You have to say it's an aggressive third dart. He could have cagily gone for that double 7, but he is an aggressive player, and that is
Fifth
a
leg,
beautiful
Mark
double.
throwing first.
It's not that Webster has played poorly in this match. In fact, he's averaging 101.
99.
And Scutt's only averaging 94, say only. But he's 3-1 up.
$95.
Connor recently got so far in a tournament that he was given the opportunity to play for England. And he will be joined in that squad by Aaron Monk,
57.
a player that Mark knows very well, and a player that we know very well here at the Online Darts Live League. You may have seen live on Sporty Stuff TV his game against Jason Askew,
140.
which still stands as the highest registered average of the year from Jason.
134.
Well, if Webster gets out of this with a win, it will be some effort.
59.
171 is the magic number here.
100.
Aggressively seeking a 140. But Connor might only be 6 darts away from victory.
59. Mark, you require 111.
We know where Mark's going here. 51 and tops.
55. Connie requires.
Connor's won a match on a 127. Can he go a little bit deeper here? Using those Simon Whitlock darts with many a groove
60.
and many a scallop.
Mark, you require 56.
Well, that leaves 49. And instinctively, he wanted to go for 17 with double 16. That's what he has left.
40.
And that might be that. As Connor
Connie
is faced with 2
88.
snowmen for a last leg break of throw. Bullseye.
63.
1 match dart missed.
Mark, you require 16.
This has got to go.
No score.
And it doesn't land in the right place.
Connie require 25.
Because Connor has had 25 twice in this match. And both times he's taken it.
Game, shot,
Make that
and
3.
match. Connor
He is
Scutt.
pretty fortunate to get a shot at that double 8, because if you look at the action replay of that shot there, he was precariously close to a treble 9 that would have bust that 25. But with the lesser average, he does win the match. But look at the checkouts, 57%, and that gives him 6 points for the night. So, Jim Williams, can you join Connor Scutt on 6 points? Well, it's all down to your match against Richie Burnett, and that is coming up after the break. it's now time for the last match of this group for tonight. Anyway, it is a tightly packed group, but how tight will it be towards the top after this match between two Welshmen, Williams and Burnett? You could see Richie Burnett get to 4 points instead of being towards the bottom with Mark Webster. Or you could have Jim Williams on 6 to join Connor Scutt. They are your two scenarios, and that possibility of everybody being on 4 points is no longer possible.
First leg will be Richie to throw first. Game on.
But allow me to get one statistic out of the way before Jim Williams throws one dart in this match. His average for the night right now
100
is 99.99. That's just changed. But I was pretty sure before this match started
140
that his average for the night was very close to exactly 100. And when I was just frantically doing my stats before this one began, I thought, it's close. And in fact, it was within 0.3 of being exactly 100 after 3 matches. He has been really good tonight. The lowest average he's put in is 94.22. And then 2 ton plus averages after that of 103.37 and 102.38. I think all of the players deserve a lot of credit tonight. They really have delivered. I build this group as the best we've seen so far from a reputation standpoint. And they have delivered a fantastic night's darting entertainment.
100. Richie, you require 121.
Burnett needs 51 and bull, but he's decided, with his infinite
89.
wisdom, not to go for it.
Jimmy require 161.
For the life of me, don't know why. 51 and bull. Should have gone for it, Richie. I told you, Richie, you should have gone for the 1-2-1 because you cannot leave someone like Jim Williams on a 1-6-1. How many times will these old school players reject a shot that is less than what their players have before they just do the right thing? Jim Williams is 100. In form. He's a world-class player. Why give him a free hit? I once had a very frank conversation with Philip Taylor. He said to me, why do people keep hitting 170 checkouts against me when I'm on a double? And I said, it's pretty simple, Phil. Because you decide not to go for bullseyes when we're stuck on 170. Mark Webster hit one against him in the Premier League in Nottingham. I hit one against him at Purfleet. It happened so many times, and he wouldn't learn from it.
100.
If there are young players watching this at this late hour, if you have a shot, give it a go. Do not give your opponent a chance.
97.
Rant over. But it really could damage Richie's chances of progressing through this group.
137.
Giving up his throw, and now Williams is playing delightful stuff again. And he's going to leave double 12.
140.
Oh, he's let me down right there. But he has not let himself down by leaving 64 after 12.
57.
And he's left a bogey number.
Jimmy requires 64.
So Jim's got 6 darts from here. And 6 is the number he wants to be at points-wise after this match.
Game shot in his second leg.
Impeccable finishing from Jim Williams. This is really pinpoint play that deserves an instant replay. Just is not putting a
Third
foot
leg, it's
wrong.
Richie to throw first. Game on.
It's at this juncture, maybe, that a personal best in a game is very possible for Jim.
96.
He's had a very good start. Currently, his best individual performance is 103.66.
60.
That was when he beat Connor Scutt on the 25th of September. I'm not going to try and spook it or hex it.
180.
I'm seeing what his average is right now, but it is above 103.66.
$95.
Richie Burnett is the chief of leg number 3 so far. And he will not want to finish tonight on only 2 points with the way he's played. He's going to rue not only not going for that 121 in the first leg of this contest, but 7 match darts missed against Connor Scutt in match 3. He played well in that match. He did enough to win it. He just didn't win it with the last dart.
137.
Quite simple.
Richie require 126.
He beat Mark Webster 4-3. That's his only win. And he lost 4-3 to Thornton. So everything tonight for Burnett has gone to the limit.
46.
He has given you your full money's worth tonight on Sporty Stuff TV. And if he takes this one all the way, who knows what could happen?
99. Richie, you require 80.
He's got to go 25 and bull. Niall Cullerton style here. And Williams has every right to lick his chops here. This is a very doable out.
30. Jimmy
Richie
require
is left
110.
very, very empty after that shot. What does Jim do? Does he stay there? I think that was the right shot. It just didn't fall in.
94. Richie, you require 50.
10 for tops. Needs double 10. That dart could actually help him.
Game shot in the
Well,
third
it
leg.
gave him a lovely
Richie
sighter,
Burnett.
and he has brought the gap to just the one now, and it could have been a lot worse if Jim Williams had found that 110 checkout, and luckily for Richie, he didn't.
Fourth leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on. $134.
One of the reasons why Jim Williams is such a good player, and just watch out for this potentially over the next 2 or 3 legs, is his ability to get his darts so close together.
97.
Some people throw darts, and when they get another dart next to it, the other dart doesn't move. But look at this dart here. Look at it move. He makes the dart move.
137.
He's able to bypass those blocker darts and make them shift out the way. When they go in at that upright angle, he can manipulate them a little bit. It's not on
57.
purpose. It's just Jim Williams knowing how his darts behave if they're hit with another spear. Look at it again. It moves.
80.
And that one falls on the floor because he hit too much tungsten there. Well, I was in the commentary box a week ago and I saw Jose de Souza hit 3 bullseyes against
59.
Gary Anderson when he was
Jimmy
sitting on
required
165. Jim Williams has got the equivalent of 3 bullseyes left. And one day, one day, it's going to happen. Someone is going to hit 3 balls on camera. Rumour has it that Michael van Gerwen has done it against Dave Pallett once. But we do not have photographic or video evidence.
Jimmy requires 16.
What we do know is that Jim Williams is on double 8 after 12.
No score.
Well, that was a really unfortunate
Richie
turn of events there for Jim, because those 2 darts that he threw at the start of that visit were both blocking the double 8. Hang about. Hang about, double 14. And Burnett misses a huge chance to equal this match at 2-2. He won't get a better chance because you fancy that Jim Williams is not going to make the same mistake twice. And he doesn't.
Fourth leg.
It's 3-1 now, and Jim Williams can now breathe a sigh of relief, because for about 3 or 4 seconds, he thought it was going to be level at 2-2.
Fifth leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
Now he's got to do what Mark Webster tried to do to him, and that's win from 3-1 down. Mark failed at the last hurdle.
45.
But Connor Scutt didn't fail. He was 3-0 down and still beat Richie. But yet again, Jim Williams is averaging north of 100.
99.
Tonight, statistically, he has been the best player by some considerable distance. His doubles are good here at 50%.
81.
His scoring has been so consistent.
$60.
I'm going to fancy it if Jim Williams stays at this level, he is going to get through this group. And after winning week 1, he may well be the favourite to win this entire thing.
140.
And don't forget that nobody has won more than one phase this year. These two have both won a phase. Williams won phase 3. Burnett won phase 2. Nobody has won 2 of them.
47.
Because the other one was won by Chaz Barstow. It's these two that are still alive to be the first player to win 2 phases in 2021.
100.
And Jim Williams is very close to winning this one by 4 legs to 1. If he does win 4-1, he will finish the night
81
in second position. One leg behind Connor Scutt, who has a leg difference right now of +4. Williams is even right now. And another 3 in that column will only get him to +3.
62. Richie require 147.
This has got to go. And because of that miss on dart 1, Williams will get 3 darts to finish the night.
97.
And be in control of his own destiny
40.
going into Friday night.
Game,
a superior display from an incredible dart player who is destined for great things, maybe this week, but he is going to the tour next year. He's going to Friday night with another ton plus average. That's 3 ton plus averages out of 4 performances tonight. And he has averaged over 100 for the entire night. Better than anybody else. But he's not top of the tree because Connor Scutt is there by 1 solitary leg. 3 players will go through that group a little bit later on tonight. But before that, we will finalise who goes through Group C. There will be 2 players joining Ryan Furness in the finals before we come back to Group B at 10 p.m. on Sporty Stuff TV later on Friday. We hope you can join us for the action in Group C at 9:30 a.m. live on YouTube. But if you can't, please join us on Sporty Stuff TV at 10 p.m. on Friday night for some late night action with those guys, because they really did perform at a brilliant, brilliant level. I've been Paul the Asset Nicholson. I'm signing out for now, but I'll see you at 9:30 in the morning. Take care, everyone.